Chosen one, stop scrolling immediately. Beloved anointed ones, do not move past this video. I am not asking for your attention today because I am absolutely commanding it. The universe intercepted your feed at this exact second for a reason, and you are standing at the exact threshold of a permanent timeline shift. This is not a coincidence. The algorithm absolutely did not bring you here by chance. What I am about to reveal was sealed in the throne room of heaven until right now. The enemy is working overtime to distract you, and he hopes you will simply swipe away. He knows that if you hear this specific message, his hold over your life breaks completely. If you leave before the end, you will forfeit the exact prophetic instruction that guarantees your next 10 years. Lock your attention right now. Someone who treated you as replaceable is currently experiencing a full system crash. It is a public and irreversible collapse. I will show you the exact X-ray of their meltdown very soon. But first we must address what is happening inside your physical body. You have been feeling a strange heaviness lately. You wake up at 3 a.m. with your jaw completely tight. Your heart is racing in the dark. Their face flashes in your mind for no logical reason, and you stare at the ceiling while feeling a suffocating weight pressing down on your chest. Listen to me very carefully right now. That is not anxiety. You are not going crazy. You do not need a medical diagnosis for what you are experiencing. That physical weight is your highly advanced spirit detecting absolute panic. It is the frantic energy of the enemies who just realized they permanently lost access to your light. They are starving for your energy, and the spiritual backlash is hitting your physical body. Stop swallowing that burning feeling in your throat. Stop waiting in wound for an apology from a master manipulator. They will never give you the closure you desperately deserve. You have been fighting these battles in absolute silence for years. You thought nobody noticed your silent tears. You thought heaven was ignoring your endless prayers, and you thought nobody saw how you held your integrity when they lied on your name. But you were absolutely wrong. Someone deeply powerful has been quietly watching you. They were watching your resilience in the dark. You are the cycle breaker heaven has been waiting for. The generational patterns of poverty and broken relationships end with you. You were not the anomaly in the healthy life of another person. You were the mirror. Your pure light exposed the internal decay they always tried to hide, and they hated you for showing them their own ugly reflection. That is why you feel so drained. You have been operating as a human battery for people who only know how to take. You poured your golden energy into bottomless pits. They took your empathy and weaponized it against you because they expected your departure to completely break you. They waited with bated breath for you to fail without them. Instead, you became the uncertainty they were never built to handle. But the toll on your physical vessel has been severe. The constant spiritual warfare has created a thick fog in your mind. You forget things easily now. Learning feels harder than it used to. You watch other people succeed effortlessly while you struggle to just get out of bed and face another exhausting day. The gap between you and the people who seem blessed is not about willpower. It is not about discipline or destiny. It is a frequency issue. The modern world and these energy vampires have systematically suppressed your natural state. They pushed your highest frequency deeper and deeper below the surface until the version of you with lightning intuition went completely silent. Most people will live their entire lives without knowing this happened to them. But you are not most people. You are a demonstrated warrior of light. The forces that benefit from your exhaustion are terrified right now because they know your season of being the sacrificial lamb is finally over. The universe is actively dismantling the false narratives they built around you. Their flying monkeys are starting to ask questions. The mask they wear in public is slipping, and underneath all of that noise, the specific gravity of their regret is hitting them all at once. Let us go deeper into this reality, because what you are feeling right now is not new. It is the culmination of years of suppressed spiritual warfare. Every time you chose peace over retaliation, You built a massive fortress around your vulnerable soul. But that fortress requires immense energy to maintain. You feel it in your shoulders. You feel it in the base of your neck. It is the sheer exhaustion of always having to be the strong one when everyone else gets to fall apart. You carry a specific and irreplaceable gravity. You are a diamond walking among cheap rocks, and they knew your immense worth the exact moment they met you. Let us completely reframe your reality right now. You thought you lost. You thought walking away in absolute silence meant you surrendered the battle. But here is the raw, uncomfortable truth they could never say out loud. Your silence was a lethal weapon. You probably did not realize it at the time, but that restraint was not weakness at all. It was a permanent eviction notice. When you chose your dignity over petty revenge, you handed the verdict to a court they cannot appeal. They expected your departure to destroy your spirit. They wanted you to send angry paragraphs and beg for closure, because every time you reacted to their toxic games, you gave them exactly what they needed. You gave them your precious energy. They are parasitic energy vampires who cannot generate their own light. They survive by siphoning the brilliance out of chosen ones like you. When you finally closed the door and stayed quiet, you cut the energetic cord. You stopped feeding their starving demons, and now they are absolutely suffocating. Listen closely, because this is the exact part the enemy tried to hide from you. Your absolute silence is destroying them from the inside out. They walk around pretending everything is fine. They post happy pictures and construct a false narrative about you. They whisper desperate lies to anyone who will listen to their pathetic little stories. But behind closed doors, they are experiencing a massive spiritual malfunction. Your sudden absence left a massive void they cannot fill with cheap replacements. They are frantically trying to find another empath to use as a human battery, but they are quickly realizing that your specific depth is utterly unreplicable. You are one of the rare two. They took your brilliant light for granted for way too long, and now they are drowning in the overwhelming noise of their own toxic making. Every single day without your pure validation is a day they lose their grip on reality. You became the mirror that walked away. Without your reflection, they are forced to look at their rotting soul. This brings us to a critical distinction that eludes the vast majority of people. The Matrix programming wants you to believe you should forgive and forget. Society tells you to sit down and compromise with toxic traits. Do not listen to that terrible illusion. Cutting the cord was a divine mandate to protect your highest frequency. You are not just surviving their storm, you are the sun. While they are aging rapidly from their own bitterness and deep envy, heaven is restoring your ageless glow. You look younger and brighter after everything they put you through. And nothing makes your enemies sicker than watching you step into your untouched power with a simple smile. Type 777 in the comments right now to physically claim this exact shift into your reality. Anchor your frequency before we move to the next revelation. Because their entire manipulation miscalculated one crucial detail. They thought your exhaustion was a permanent state. They thought they drained your golden energy completely dry. But the spiritual cost of their betrayal was compounding every single day. The universe does not let anyone steal from the anointed ones without severe consequences. Divine justice is working in the background for you right now. You do not need to lift a single finger to retaliate. Vengeance is a mandate that heaven handles directly for you. Watch what happens next in their miserable lives. It is mathematically precise. The flying monkeys who used to support their lies are sensing the massive shift. The foundation of their false empire is cracking under the pressure. People are noticing their erratic behavior and constant need for attention. The mask has shattered completely. Let that beautiful truth sink into your spirit. You won the war by simply walking away and holding your immense peace. Your quiet obedience in private has activated a massive public blessing. But there is still a heavy block keeping you from accessing your complete harvest. You feel the victory in your soul, but your physical reality lags behind. Your bank account still reflects the terrible season of starvation. Your mental fog still lingers from years of targeted spiritual attack. The enemy wants you to stay in this halfway point forever. He wants you to know you won the battle, but still feel too exhausted to claim the spoils of war. He is actively suppressing your cellular frequency. We are going to break that final invisible barrier very soon. The universe is aligning a specific protocol to reset your suppressed brainwaves. Stay with me right here, because the exact weapon the Dark Elite tried to hide from your bloodline is about to be revealed. Your season of waiting in the shadows is officially coming to a glorious end. Your spiritual alignment is shifting as you hear these exact words. The Matrix cannot hold you back anymore. Prepare your spirit for the massive breakthrough that is rushing toward you right now. The next few minutes will completely change how you operate in this world forever. Before we go any further, I must interrupt this transmission for something highly classified. There is a physical reason your reality has not completely shifted yet. You won the spiritual battle against the narcissist, and you finally cut that toxic cord. But you still feel an invisible wall blocking your immense financial harvest. Your energy is completely drained. You constantly wonder why the massive blessing is delayed. The Dark Elite want you to believe this delay is your own fault. They whisper that you need to work harder, and they tell you to hustle more just to survive. They want you to think it is just bad timing or a lack of discipline. Do not listen to that terrible illusion. The gap between you and the people who seem effortlessly blessed is not about willpower. It is absolutely not a character flaw. It is a frequency. Scientists have a specific name for this state of being. They call it the gamma brainwave. And it is the exact divine frequency your brain was running naturally when you were a little child. Think back to that beautiful time for a moment. Back when brilliant ideas came to you so easily and learning felt completely effortless. When you knew things before they happened, that was your active gamma wave. The world felt like it was completely on your side. You experienced daily synchronicities and deeply meaningful events. Complex problems seemed to solve themselves like absolute magic because your intuitive genius was operating at peak capacity. You were deeply connected to the divine source. And then adulthood arrived. The modern matrix went to work on your brilliant mind. The constant stress of survival mode began to crush your spirit. The rigid school systems trained you to conform instead of creating, and the world demanded that you lower your vibration to fit into their tiny boxes. And then came the energy vampires. The narcissists targeted you because they sensed your radiant gamma frequency from a mile away. They could not generate that pure light themselves, so they engineered toxic environments to systematically suppress your natural state of absolute genius. Every single year of dealing with their manipulation pushed this sacred frequency deeper below the surface. Your brain was forced out of the gamma state just to deal with their constant drama. You had to survive their emotional chaos, until the version of you with lightning, intuition, and the luck that makes others whisper went completely silent. Your divine frequency was stolen from you without your consent, and it is a profound spiritual crime. That is exactly why you experience the heavy brain fog right now. It is why you forget simple things and feel totally unmotivated. It is the real reason you wake up exhausted every day. It is why your finances refuse to grow despite your incredibly hard work. You watch other people succeed effortlessly while you struggle to just stay afloat. You are operating on a suppressed frequency designed to keep you trapped in the lower dimensions. Your brain is stuck in a heavy state of constant alert, and most people will live their entire lives without ever knowing this tragedy happened to them. But you are a cycle breaker. You are the anointed remnant. What if everything you have struggled with is simply a blocked cellular frequency? What if the financial stagnation and the exhausting relationships are just symptoms of this suppressed brainwave? You do not need years of painful spiritual healing. You do not need to sit in silence and force yourself to meditate for endless hours. Your spiritual exhaustion requires a biological reset. Heaven gave you the grand vision, but your physical brainwaves require a precise energetic alignment. The elite have known about this gamma suppression for decades. They quietly spent thousands of dollars in private clinical sessions to keep their own gamma active. They wanted to ensure people like you never discovered this absolute truth. They wanted you to stay completely exhausted, because an exhausted chosen one cannot build an empire, and an exhausted empath cannot dismantle their corrupt matrix. They needed you to remain a human battery for their broken system. So they flooded the world with distractions and false solutions. They gave you temporary fixes that never addressed the root cause of your drained energy. But science just uncovered exactly why your frequency was blocked, and more importantly, they finally discovered how to switch it back on. The dark elite never wanted you to find the exact mechanism I am about to show you. Your season of operating at a fraction of your true power is over. I am going to reveal the exact suppressed blueprint the enemy tried to hide from your bloodline. Let us expose the hidden network that has been operating against you in the background. The narcissist never acted completely alone in their miserable attempts to destroy your reputation. They relied heavily on a flying monkey matrix. These are the people who enabled their toxic behavior and spread malicious gossip behind your back. You thought your friends were loyal to your face. You trusted people who sat at your table and drank your coffee while secretly feeding information to your primary abuser. They formed a tiny and pathetic little court of cowards. They needed each other to validate their own miserable existence, because none of them possessed the genuine courage to face you as an individual. They had to huddle together in the dark to feel powerful. Think about the whispers you caught out of the corner of your ear. Think about the sudden changes in attitude from people who used to respect your absolute authority. That was the flying monkey network at work. They carried the toxic narratives from room to room like infected rats. They built a wall of lies to keep you isolated from potential allies. They wanted you to feel like the entire world turned against you. They wanted you to sit in a dark room and question your own sanity. But here is the magnificent truth they completely failed to calculate. Your absence destroyed their little ecosystem. Without your golden energy feeding their drama, the group started turning on each other. The narcissist cannot maintain a peaceful relationship with anyone for long. Eventually, their mask slips in front of the flying monkeys too, and that is when the civil war begins inside their camp. The very people who gossiped about you are now whispering behind the back of your abuser. They are watching your unbothered glow with absolute terror. They see you stepping into your power while their own lives rot away. Type 1111 in the comments right now if you feel the atmosphere shifting in your favor. Anchor that divine protection into your physical reality immediately. Because what happens next is a masterclass in cosmic poetry. The web of lies they constructed for years is collapsing under its own massive weight. People are starting to ask the hard questions. They are looking at the narcissist and realizing that every single accusation against you was actually a confession. Every lie they told was a mirror reflecting their own disgusting character. You do not need to lift a finger to clear your name. The universe is doing the heavy lifting for you. The truth always finds a way to pierce through the darkest illusions. Let us examine why they targeted you in the first place. You were never just an ordinary person in their social circle. You carried a spiritual weight that intimidated their fragile egos. Your mere presence exposed their deep insecurities. You did not even have to speak a single word to make them feel small. Your authenticity was a direct threat to their entire facade. That is why they had to orchestrate smear campaigns. That is why they had to recruit weak-minded people to do their dirty work. They had to dilute your power because they could never match it. And now that you have stepped away from their toxic matrix, they are completely lost. They are wandering around in the desert of their own making. They expected you to crawl back and beg for their toxic validation. They waited by the phone for your angry texts or your desperate pleas for peace. But you gave them something much worse than anger. You gave them absolute silence. You treated them like they do not even exist. That is the ultimate insult to a narcissist. To a parasite, being ignored is a slow and agonizing death. They thrive on any form of emotional reaction, positive or negative. Starve them of that reaction, and their internal system crashes completely. That is exactly what you did. You starved the beast. And now you get to watch the glorious aftermath from your throne of peace. The generational curses they tried to tie around your ankles have snapped. The heavy chains of obligation to toxic family members and fake friends are completely broken. You are walking through the fire and emerging with pure gold on the other side. But do not get comfortable just yet. There is another layer of this matrix we need to dismantle. The elite who engineered your energetic suppression are still watching. They want to see if you will take the bait and fall back into old survival habits. They want you to doubt your divine authority. Do not let them win this final round. Keep your eyes fixed on the massive harvest that is waiting right at the door. Before we go any further, I must completely interrupt this transmission for just a moment. If you are hearing this right now, it is highly classified. I was not going to share this publicly, but my spirit prompted me to release this specific tool today. While you have been fighting these massive spiritual battles, science just uncovered something absolutely incredible. 4 major neuroscience labs just confirmed exactly how the elite keep their power. There is a physical reason your reality has not shifted yet. The Matrix engineered a heavy frequency to suppress your natural wealth-attracting state. They knew that an awakened empath with an active gamma brainwave is completely unstoppable, so they blocked your cellular frequency. But a leaked CIA document just changed everything. Researchers with decades of clinical experience revealed a highly protected secret. They discovered a 7-minute audio ritual that bypasses the conscious mind entirely. It forces your exhausted brain back into synchronized gamma coherence. This is the exact suppressed weapon the enemy tried to hide from your bloodline. Princeton University quietly studied this exact brainwave. They linked it to the intuitive genius that children have before the matrix breaks them. The Einstein Center in Berlin confirmed this reality. They proved that the legendary flow state is driven entirely by this specific gamma activity, and Columbia University discovered something even more powerful about this signal. They found that a strong gamma signal actually radiates outward. It positively influences your children and your partner. A brilliant team of neuroscientists took this raw data. They compressed 1 full hour of deep brain entrainment into just 7 effective minutes. You do not need to sit in silence. You do not need years of painful spiritual healing or endless meditation. No mantra or journaling is required for this biological reset. You simply put on your headphones, you close your eyes, and let the sound wave do all the heavy lifting. It synchronizes with your brain below the level of conscious awareness. It begins reactivating that pure gamma frequency almost instantly. Your intuitive genius is pulled back to the surface without effort. Over 18,000 chosen ones have already used this exact protocol. They unlocked their finances and healed their broken relationships in record time. A nurse from California said her life now feels like an enchanted fairy tale. A business owner from Texas said this frequency figures out his hardest problems while he sleeps. They bypassed the matrix entirely. This breakthrough was never meant for the masses. It was specifically designed to keep the dark elite in absolute power. They quietly pay thousands of dollars for clinical biofeedback sessions. They use large machines to access the gamma state that you deserve as a birthright. But you do not need a $7,000 biofeedback machine to reclaim your sacred power. You do not need expensive retreats to fix your spiritual exhaustion. That massive financial barrier has been completely dismantled for you today. But the dark forces are absolutely panicking right now. They are actively trying to scrub this exact neuroactivator from the internet. As this secret leaks out to the anointed remnant, Fake versions are appearing everywhere. The Matrix is flooding the internet with dangerous counterfeit frequencies. They want you confused by cheap copies on public streaming platforms. Those diluted versions are designed to keep your gamma entirely dormant. Beware of imitators trying to steal your precious energy. Protect your spiritual alignment by strictly using the verified and encrypted protocol. I will tell you exactly how to access this authentic portal very soon. The specific link is waiting for you in the pinned comment below. Do not wait for a better moment. Activate your frequency before the Dark Elite revoke this access forever. If your cellular intuition is vibrating right now, do not resist this instruction. Your breakthrough requires this physical alignment. Your season of operating on a suppressed frequency is officially ending. You are stepping into a dimension of effortless manifestation. Complex problems will begin to solve themselves. You will experience sudden clarity and know exactly what to do next. The universe is handing you the exact tool to match your high spiritual authority. You are reclaiming your stolen genius. Within the first few days of listening, you will notice a massive shift. Your memory will become incredibly sharp, and your processing speed will skyrocket. The heavy fog will lift from your mind completely, and by the second week, you will see career breakthroughs and deep relationship transformations. You will live in a continuous flow state where everything is easy. Let this revelation settle into your physical body right now. The financial stagnation and the exhausting relationships were never your fault. They were simply the tragic result of a blocked cellular frequency. But now you hold the ultimate key to reverse the damage. You are about to become completely untouchable. Let us return to the collapse of your enemies. Let us turn our attention back to the exact person who tried to break you. I need you to imagine this specific scenario happening behind their closed doors right now. They are completely spiraling out of control. The confident mask they wear in public is permanently glued to their face, but underneath it, they are absolutely suffocating. They thought your silent departure was a temporary phase. They expected you to come running back to their toxic cage. They left the door slightly open because they assumed your empathy would override your strict boundaries. But days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into absolute silence. That is when the quiet panic slowly started to set in. They check your social media obsessively, using fake accounts just to see if you are suffering without them. But they find absolutely nothing to feed their starving demons. You gave them no reaction, no angry posts, and no desperate pleas for closure. Your absolute silence became a massive psychological prison for them. Every time their phone rings, their heart jumps, hoping it is you calling them. When they realize you are truly gone, a cold dread washes over their entire physical body. Listen to me very closely right now, because most people completely miss this shift. The narcissist relies on a constant stream of external validation to simply survive. They are empty vessels desperately trying to steal the light of chosen ones. When you unplugged from their dark matrix, you took away their primary fuel source. Now their internal engine is completely burning out. They are making terrible mistakes at work and in their personal lives. The people who used to believe their lies are starting to notice the massive cracks. Their flying monkeys are suddenly keeping a very safe distance. The false empire they built on the foundation of your stolen energy is violently shaking. The universe is actively isolating them, just like they tried to isolate you. Read that again in your spirit. Heaven is intentionally backing them into a dark corner, so they are forced to look at their own reflection. They can no longer use your brilliant light to hide their massive insecurities. Every time your name comes up in a conversation, they feel a sharp pain in their chest. It is the agonizing weight of profound and permanent regret. They threw away the only genuine diamond they ever held, just to play with cheap rocks. And the terrifying part is that they know it. They are acutely aware that they ruined the best thing that ever happened to their miserable life. But their massive ego will never allow them to admit this out loud. So they suffer in absolute silence while pretending they are perfectly fine. This is exactly where the dynamic fundamentally shifts in your favor. You are no longer the victim of their twisted psychological games. You are the cycle breaker who flipped the entire script on the abuser. They are experiencing the exact physical symptoms they previously forced onto you. The heavy chest, the thick brain fog, and the racing heart at 3 a.m. are now their daily reality. Spiritual warfare has strict rules regarding the transfer of energy. When a targeted attack fails to break the anointed remnant, the curse returns entirely to the original sender. The heavy karma they accumulated by abusing you is crashing down on their head. They cannot sleep peacefully because their own terrible demons are keeping them awake at night. They are constantly looking over their shoulder in pure paranoia. They feel a looming sense of doom that they absolutely cannot shake off. It is the undeniable feeling of divine justice rapidly approaching their front door. They are trying desperately to find someone else to blame for their massive failures. But the universe has removed all their convenient scapegoats. There is nobody left in the room except them and their own rotting soul. Type 888 in the comments if you feel this divine justice working for you right now. Anchor your frequency into this magnificent truth. You do not need to seek revenge, because heaven is doing the most brutal work for you. The pressure inside their toxic mind is building to an absolutely explosive level. The breaking point is arriving much faster than they think. Let me reframe your entire reality right here. While they are drowning in the noise of their own toxic making, you are sitting in profound peace. You are aging backwards, while their deep bitterness ages them rapidly. People look at you and wonder how you survived the raging fire without smelling like smoke. You carry a specific and irreplaceable gravity that they can never imitate. Stay with me, because this next revelation is the ultimate key to everything. The hoarded energy they stole from you is being violently ripped from their hands. The universe is preparing to make a public spectacle of their complete failure. The quiet panic they have been hiding is about to spill over into the wide open. Their fragile mask is about to shatter into a million pieces. Now, I need you to imagine this exact scenario clearly. The public collapse you were waiting for is finally happening right now. The pressure inside their toxic mind has reached the absolute limit. They are standing in a crowded room with the very people they manipulated, and they are desperately trying to maintain control of the false narrative. The fragile mask they wore for years is shattering. They try to tell another pathetic lie about your character. They want to paint you as the villain one last time to gain sympathy, but this time the atmosphere in the room is completely different. The universe has removed the veil of deception from the eyes of their audience, and the crowd is staring back at them with cold suspicion. People are no longer nodding along blindly to their toxic stories. Someone in the crowd suddenly asks a very simple question. They ask why you left if you were truly the terrible person they claim. The narcissist completely freezes in absolute and silent terror. Their brain short-circuits because they never prepared for any real pushback. They stutter and stumble over their words while trying to invent a new lie, but the sheer panic makes them sound entirely unhinged. This is the exact turning point where everything finally explodes. They lose their temper in front of the entire stunned room. They start yelling uncontrollably and waving their hands in pure desperation. The sweat is forming on their forehead as they realize nobody believes them anymore, and the dark energy they hid is spilling out everywhere. The polite society they manipulated is watching them malfunction in real time. The flying monkeys are taking a huge step back in shock. They are seeing the screaming monster you had to deal with behind closed doors. The undeniable and terrible truth is hitting them all at once. They realize you were the innocent victim the entire time, while this screaming person was the actual villain destroying the peace. Heaven ensures you are totally vindicated in front of them today. The public humiliation is absolutely devastating and beautiful to witness. The narcissist tries desperately to backtrack and calm down, but the massive damage is already done and the bridge is burned. They cannot put the ugly monster back inside the box after everyone has seen it, and the room feels heavy with awkward and judging silence. Their entire social standing is permanently erased in a matter of minutes. Then the most incredible miracle happens right in front of them. The frantic narcissist starts defending your brilliant character by complete accident. In their blind rage, they scream about how you thought you were better than them. They loudly confess that your pure light always made them feel incredibly small, and they expose their own pathetic insecurities to the crowd. They accidentally admit their deep jealousy to the entire world. The room goes completely dead silent after that shocking confession. Nobody knows what to say to the unhinged person standing before them. The narcissist looks around and sees the deep disgust in their eyes. They realize they just validated every single thing you ever claimed, because their own mouth betrayed their dark and twisted secrets. They turn around and run out of the room in absolute shame. And here is the magnificent verdict we promised at the beginning. That public collapse you were waiting for just happened exactly as prophesied. Your profound silence did not just hurt their fragile ego, it permanently ended their reign of terror and completely dismantled their false empire, while heaven protected you from the falling debris. You won this massive war without lifting a single physical finger. They wanted you buried deep in the dirt forever, but instead they became the shovel that dug up your beautiful treasure. Every time your name comes up in that room now, it hits them with agonizing weight. They know they threw away the chosen one just to play dirty games, and their regret is swallowing them whole from the inside out. They will never recover from the public disgrace they brought upon themselves. You are the undisputed victor of this entire spiritual conflict. The universe has officially handed you the crown of victory today. The trauma bond is completely severed, and the toxic strings are cut. You are completely free to step into your untouchable, ageless glow right now, because the chains holding you back have dissolved into dust. The enemies who plotted your downfall are currently drowning in their own poison. Your season of being the sacrificial lamb is over forever. You are the cycle breaker who conquered the ultimate narcissist. Now it is time to claim the financial and spiritual harvest they delayed. The door to your massive abundance is standing wide open right now, and the universe is practically begging you to walk completely through it. You survived the raging fire and came out shining like pure and priceless gold. Do not look back at the destruction happening behind you. Let the dead bury the dead while you step into the glorious light. You have transcended their toxic matrix and defeated the dark elite. The final step is to lock your cellular frequency into this new dimension, and you must act quickly before the window of opportunity closes. The universe is waiting for you to seal this absolute victory with physical action. You walked into this dark season bleeding from heavy wounds inflicted by people totally blind to your immense worth. But look at you now. The terrible weight you carried for so long is finally lifting off your shoulders. You are no longer waiting in wound for a pathetic apology from a master manipulator. You have completely transcended their highly toxic matrix. Say this out loud with me right now. I claim my permanent freedom. Now type "I am free" in the comments below to physically anchor this magnificent reality. The brutal financial struggles and the deep spiritual exhaustion are permanently shattering right here and right now. But there is a very specific reason your massive breakthrough has been sitting at the door without coming inside. It is absolutely not a lack of faith or discipline. It is not a punishment for your past mistakes. It is a suppressed biological signal. The modern world systematically crushed the gamma brainwave that you ran effortlessly as a beautiful child. Princeton University studied this exact high-frequency brainwave thoroughly. The Einstein Center in Berlin confirmed that the legendary flow state is driven entirely by pure gamma activity. Columbia University discovered something even more beautiful. A strong gamma signal does not stay hidden inside your physical body. It radiates outward to positively influence your children and your romantic partner. The universe designed you to be a beacon of brilliant light for your entire family. They desperately need you to be completely whole again. After years of quiet and highly protected research, a team of brilliant neuroscientists cracked the code. They compressed an entire gamma activation protocol into a simple and elegant audio track. It takes exactly 7 minutes of your day. No meditation and no exhausting physical effort are required to make this work. You simply close your eyes and put on your headphones. You let the sound wave do what the modern world spent decades trying to undo. This powerful divine mechanism is officially called the Genius Song. Over 18,000 chosen ones have already used it to quickly unlock their finances and heal their broken relationships. They bypassed the matrix entirely and claimed their rightful inheritance in record time. A nurse from California said her life now feels utterly enchanted and completely safe. A business owner from Texas said the gamma frequency figures out his hardest problems while he sleeps peacefully. The generational curses they carried for decades are simply gone forever. The dark elite have quietly paid thousands of dollars for clinical biofeedback sessions. They use expensive machines to access what the Genius Song delivers in just 7 minutes. They strongly prefer this ultimate power remain out of reach for people exactly like you. You can access it today through this specific message alone. Do not look for it on public platforms like YouTube or Spotify. The cheap copies circulating there contain absolutely zero brain entrainment technology. They are diluted counterfeits, specifically designed to keep your powerful gamma permanently dormant. The dark forces want you to remain confused and exhausted by these useless fakes. The only authentic and fully activated version is available through the protected link in the description and the pinned comment below. The left brain will try to inject terrible doubt right now. It will tell you to calculate the cost and wait for a better time. Silence that lying accuser immediately. That hesitation is pure and dangerous matrix programming. If your spirit is vibrating with a deep cellular knowing right now, heaven demands your immediate obedience. The universe does not require you to take a single financial risk today. You are fully protected by an ironclad divine guarantee. If you do not feel the massive energetic shift you deserve, your exchange is completely restored without any question. God ensures your absolute safety in this divine transaction. Your peace of mind is totally guaranteed as you step into this new dimension. 4 incredibly powerful bonuses are waiting for you alongside this massive breakthrough. You will receive a specialized audio engineered specifically for your children to build their focus and deep confidence. You also get the original prosperity book that the wealthy elite secretly built their giant empires upon, a beautifully guided visualization, and a master blueprint for your ideal future are included to perfectly seal your massive success. You will never have to walk through this dark valley alone again. Do not let the Matrix steal this divine tool from your bloodline. Secure your authentic access right now via the protected link in the pinned comment. The chosen one who hesitates at the open threshold becomes the chosen one who always wonders what could have been. Step through the glowing portal today, reactivate your pure gamma, and permanently unlock your ultimate destiny before the enemy scrubs this from the internet forever. You are officially free.